to the school, so they cut me a check for about $100. And it was a beautiful thing. So pretty much about 70% of the schools was wearing my T-shirt at the day of the game, and I was sitting there watching, looking back, like, oh my God, everybody's wearing my shirt. And at the time, the name of the company was Raised Gig, and everybody came to me like, yo, so you got a clothing line? What's going on? What's going on? Because in high school, I was known as the popular kid. I dressed very well, as you can see today, my hoodie and my sweatpants. College, like, whatever. But everybody knew me as that guy to be always fashionably intact. But ever since then, after that, fast forward, so I made a lot of money, about a couple $1,000s. After that, I pretty much started designing, started making shirts, and started selling shirts, and I got a lot of, the other entity of my business is services. And I contracted Tufts organizations, colleges. I went to arts and community colleges, and I had a lot of people order T-shirts from me because they knew I had unique designs. So I did a lot of bulk orderings and what have you. And that's pretty much my story as far as the design process, the leveraging, and making things happen as far as like the entrepreneurial process. I don't know. You guys have any questions? I'm going off the wing here.
Each of you guys take turns answering. When did you know that you wanted to be an entrepreneur?
I think the moment that I can really recall when I wanted to be an entrepreneur was when I watched my grandpa. It was all, like that back room, I just knew it. I wanted to be my boss one day. I want to be my own boss. I'm grandpa, you know, unlimited candy and Gatorade, you know. You can't, and he took golf all the time. We played pool, you know, right there in the office, and we'd shoot basketball hoops out in the warehouse, and right then and there, I just knew it. That's when it clicked that I can recall, you know.
I'd say like it'd probably definitely be college. I mean, I've always had good ideas, and I thought were good ideas. You know, everyone thinks their ideas are great, right? And when I got to college, I bounced around majors. I was a geology major. I was an economics major in arts and science. I was an economics major in the business school. Went to marketing, undecided for a semester, and now entrepreneurship, and it just kind of fit. So I think that's, I think like I always had it in me, but I didn't really know where to apply it. I think this is the place, so that's how I figured it out.
Well, it's a little different for me. When I was 12, entrepreneurship kind of picked me. I mean, I'm coming probably from middle class. I grew up in the city. I just always had bills in my house. Like, oh, bills need to be paid, blah, blah, blah. So I was 12 before I got paralyzed. Across the street, the elderly, you know, need help going to groceries, you know, shoveling the snow. So for me, it was like, all right, they need help shoveling the snow, I can do that, and they paid me to do that. And I took out I shoveled the snow, I went to the grocery store for them, mowed the lawn, did a lot of gardening, and at one point, I think I was making about $100 a week at 12. So it kind of chose me. I just knew that I had to make money and doing creative ways to do so. So I've been an entrepreneur since about 12 years old. So I think entrepreneurship chose me rather than me choosing entrepreneurship. Because I always wanted to become a doctor, so I never really wanted to, you know, run my own business. That's a little bit too much work.
So your first attempt at entrepreneurship was mowing lawns and doing yard care service type stuff?
Yeah, I got paid a lot of money doing that. This old man named Stanley and Ida, they paid me a lot of money for work that I didn't even do. Like sometimes he would just give me $100 and he didn't see too well. So sometimes he gave me $100 by accident. And I'm like, no, you gave me $100. He's like, nah, this is what I'm giving you. First it was $10 and $20, and he gave me $100. I'm like, it's too much. And he's like, nah, it's all right. And then he gave me like a ring. Nah, but that one thing I was honesty. One thing I was honest, that was integrity. That's a lot of things we learn in entrepreneurship. Is being honesty and integrity is the first rule of business. Because if you're not honest and if you don't build the right relationships and treat people with respect the same way as you like yourself, at the end of the day, your business is going to fail. Because in order to grow substantially and have a sustainable business, it's important to have integrity and be honest and be yourself. You know, so.
But any mistakes that you think maybe telling us about might help us to avoid them?
I would say organization, emphasize it. I mixed up an order one time. I gave one guy the wrong order and just left. And it was actually it was down in Dallas, and I was like long gone, and like 2 days later he called me back. I was like, well, I don't know what this is, but you gave me the wrong stuff. And I was like, okay, sorry. And I actually drove back there that night. But yeah, I just setting that organization and that structure, it's extremely needed in the company.
What was the
Any mistakes?
Mistakes? I don't know, I think there's 3 things that you need. You need time management, organization skills, and leadership skills. If you have those 3 things, you're in a good position to succeed. But as far as mistakes goes, like I said before, bookkeeping, the most important thing for entrepreneurs is management. Once you know how to manage your business, you can grow your business. But if everything's all over the place and you don't know your numbers and you don't know how much inventory you have and you don't know what you made for this quarter and you're not keeping up with your clientele base and following up, you're gonna fail. But so at this stage, I think all of us are we understand all those things that we're in a small business, and we're massaging those things that come to life, and we're getting all ducks in a row and making things happen.
So then once you do make things happen, what are some of the rewards? I mean, what do you get out of being an entrepreneur that you wouldn't get out of working for somebody else?
I mean, for me personally, I think it's not about me, it's about the people that I help and the people that can see me and look at me and say, oh man, if he can do it, I can do it. So, there's going to be a financial reward if you work hard enough at it, but the most reward for me personally is just the people that you help along the way. I don't know what avenue that is, but the people that you help that can actually go further than where you took it to. So.
Yeah.
Well, I want to first comment on mistake. Pay your credit. If you do a credit, pay your credit cards off. That's a nightmare. I'll admit to that, and that's one thing I had a hard time admitting to myself for the longest time, is that, I pay your bills. Like, if you owe somebody money, pay them, because it's going to be there no matter if you turn the light off at night and go to bed. It's going to be there when you wake up. It's not going to disappear. And that was my hardest struggle, being young and doing something like that, actually taking out credit on a card. Credit's the most important thing that you probably can use that, can be for or against you in many ways. But the reward I get is kind of coming on a raise comment. When someone comes up to you or they say something and they say, you know what, in the face of all this, you make me want to go out and do what I love to do, and they say that to you, do what you love to do. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if all you guys' parents have said that to you. I'm sure, I got the architect or doctor or lawyer from my aunt, but everybody else, do what you love to do. And you get the most satisfaction. That's the greatest reward. And if you do well, the money will come. And it'll come so fast you're just going. And you have to collect yourself, and you have to think. You have to consciously be aware of that all the time. You have to collect. You have to think about it, and you have to think about what are they getting out of this, and make sure that you would feel the same way if someone's treating you that way, or someone says that you inspire them. That's probably the greatest reward.
Man, I get that all the time.
Get out of the bubble,
sometimes you kind of brush it off, but then when you sit back and think, like, okay, how do I inspire you? For me personally, and it's like, and I'm not trying to be like, egotistical, but like when people tell me I inspire them, I take a look at that, like, okay, how do I really inspire you? But when I actually observe that person and I see how I inspire them, it's more rewarding. And then me being here for about 1.5 years and building a relationship with certain people, either from a distance or from or close, I can see the benefit from it, from me, and the benefit that they gave to me, because they inspired me as well. And I don't think that you have to be in a wheelchair or have some type of visible. We all have disabilities. Just some of them are visible, some of them not. But everybody's an inspiration because we all go through stuff and we all at one point say, you know what, I'm going to do it, I'm going to make it happen, I'm not going to sit back, eventually. And so I think we're all inspirations. It's just tell your story, you know what I mean? Just as much as I can sit here and tell my story, I've been paralyzed, but I don't let it affect me. I'm sure every single person in here has a story and it needs to be heard. So at the end of the day, we're all inspiring each other to uplift everybody.
Right.
That's how I see it.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think we're all hitting the same thing. It's just that, you know, satisfying the customer is the biggest thing, because in the end they're the ones who write the checks. I know it shouldn't all be about, well, it is all kind of all about money, I guess. But yeah, it's just you know, integrity is everything, and you know, when you say you're going to be there, and when you say you're going to do something, you need to do everything in your power to do that, and just getting that response back from them saying, you know, thank you so much for, you know, providing the service, or thank you so much for being here early, on time. That's great. Yeah,
So how has the university helped you in pursuing your business? What resources or advice?
It's basically, you can say what the unlimited ain't. I mean, you have so many people around you, and the older I get, I've been here for about 3.5 years, since 2007, so it'll be 3 years plus. And when I first started, I had no one, and right now, you know, words can't describe the help that's there, the resources that are there, the people that are there. You know, we talk and bounce ideas off each other all the time, and it just helps you grow your business. And they have unlimited option. The school is just, you can't put a price in the school. You know, what they do for you is invaluable, I guess is what you call it.
Yeah, I was just saying, it's amazing. It's amazing what resources, and even if there's like a resource there out there that, let's say, the school doesn't provide, like for example, a patent attorney or something like that, that the entrepreneurship center doesn't provide, they will go out and find one for you, and you can talk to them. They're so eager to help you, and it's not just the staff at the university, but the students as well. Like being around, putting yourself around people that are motivated and like passionate about what they do in business and that stuff, and just learning from them, because it's amazing almost what you learn. I feel like almost, you know, we learn a lot of the fundamentals from the staff, you know, the structure, but in terms of, I feel like we also learn a lot more from, you know, our fellow students. So
I agree. As far as like the resources, I mean, they provided office space and, like you said, students and motivation and what have you, but I'm just going to twist it a little bit. I think the resources is unlimited, but at the end of the day, it really relies on yourself and what you're trying to do, because if you have so much resources, but if your machine is not ready to go, your resources is kind of useless. So sometimes you can have all the resources in the world, but you can't use it. So you have to understand, as an entrepreneur, as a business person, that you have to know your business, know what it needs, and what resources you need to make your business function to the heights that you want to see it to go. So the resources is unlimited, like everybody said, but I think the most important part is knowing your business, knowing where you want your business to go, knowing the weak spots, the blind spots, and knowing the blind spots in your business, so you can take those resources and then take advantage of them. So at the end of the day, you have to know your business.
What advice do you have for anyone who in this room might be thinking about starting their own business?
Don't do it.
Don't think it was.
Seriously, you gotta find what value that you could bring to somebody else, and you get paid for it. Because at the end of the day, you want to get paid for it. Like you said, it's about getting paid, but you still have to bring that value. So the key is to find the value. What value am I bringing to somebody else? And for me, it took me a long time. Actually, coming here made me see the value, because I come from the city. So when I started my business, it was just fashion, you know, jewelry, you know, glitz and glamour. But at the end of the day, it wasn't about that. It was about, like, look, it's overcoming adversity, and then we can do the fashion, we put that on top as well. So.
I kind of like, this is like the quote I go by, but it's, I don't even know if it's a real quote, but basically, an idea is nothing without execution. I mean, I'm sure we all could come up with 1,000 ideas in this room, but if you don't execute it, it's worthless. And in terms of starting a business, I mean, if you guys have an idea, do it. I mean, this is the best time. What do you got to lose? What are they going to come take your bike that you ride to campus with? It's better than like, I talk to people who are starting business and they're 40 and they have kids and they have a lot more to lose. And right now we're just a bunch of, honestly, we're just a bunch of college students, and this is the time to do it. So, I mean, if you have an idea, I would definitely say write a business model, figure out how to do it, and do it now.